हरिः ओम् नमः सर्वेभ्यः। अद्य कृदन्तप्रकरणस्य षोडशाधिकशततमः पाठः। भावाधिकारे अप् प्रत्ययस्य अध्ययनम् अग्रे अनुवर्तिष्यति। येनाक्षरसमाम्नायमधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयं नमस्कृत्य तदुक्तिः परिभाव्य च वैयाकरणसिद्धान्तकौमुदीयं विरच्यते। अस्माभिः अष्टमस्य करपत्रस्य अध्ययनम् इदानीं क्रियमाणमस्ति। तत्र भावाधिकारे प्रारम्भे तु अधिकारद्वयं भावे तथा अकर्तरिचकारके संज्ञायां तत्र प्रामुख्येन त्रयः प्रत्ययाः पाठिताः। आदौ विद्यमानः घञ् प्रत्ययः औत्सर्गिकरूपेण सर्वेभ्यः धातुभ्यः विधीयते। तदनन्तरं विद्यमानः अच् इति प्रत्ययः ईवर्णान्तधातुभ्यः घञ् प्रत्ययस्य अपवादरूपेण उक्तः अस्ति। तदनन्तरं विद्यमानः अप प्रत्ययः प्रारम्भे दीर्घऋकारान्तधातोः तथा च उवर्णान्तधातोः घञ् प्रत्ययस्य अपवादरूपेण प्रोक्तः अस्ति। अन्येषु अपि भिन्नेषु सूत्रेषु अग्रे लिखितेषु सूत्रेषु घञ् प्रत्ययस्य अपवादरूपेण अयम् अप इति प्रत्ययः प्रोच्यते। तत्र पूर्वस्मिन् वर्गे अस्माभिः घञ् प्रत्ययस्य अध्ययनं समाप्तं। तदनन्तरं च एरच रुदो रप ग्रह वृद्रो निश्चिगमश्च इत्येतानि सूत्राणि दृष्टानि। झटिति एकवारं पुनरावर्तनं कृत्वा अग्रे सरामः। तत्र भावे तथा अकर्तरिचकारके संज्ञायाम् इत्यनेन सर्वेभ्यः धातुभ्यः भावे तथा कर्तृभिन्नकारकस्य विषये संज्ञानिर्देशे औत्सर्गिकरूपेण घञ् इति प्रत्ययः भवति इति उत्सर्गः। तत्र अपवादद्वयं त्रयं वा प्रामुख्येन एरच इति सूत्रेण ईवर्णान्तात् धातोः अच् प्रत्ययः रुदोरप इत्यनेन दीर्घऋकारान्तात् उवर्णान्ताच्च अपप्रत्ययः। तत्र अपप्रत्ययस्य विषये अस्मिन् प्रत्यये विद्यमानः पकारः केवलं स्वरार्थः अस्ति। ह्रस्वस्य पितिकृतितुक इति तुगागमार्थः नास्ति इति अपि अस्माभिः दृष्टम्। अपि च अस्मिन् सूत्रे तकारः नास्ति, रु द इति दकारः तत्र दृश्यते। ऋद् प्लस् उ इत्येतयोः रुदोः इति सिद्ध्यति। तत्र दकारः मुखसुखार्थः, तत्र तपरकरणं नापेक्षितम्। अग्रिमं सूत्रं ग्रह वृद्रो निश्चिगमश्च। अत्र ग्रहादिभ्यः धातुभ्यः अपप्रत्ययः। सो ग्रह is a halanta dhatu, so it would have got ghaya. We are blocking that and giving upper. Vru iti rukaramtah, dru iti rukaramtah, sarvatra tatra घञ् प्रत्ययस्य प्राप्तिः अस्ति। गम धातोः विषये अपि घञ् प्रत्ययस्य प्राप्तिः अस्ति। ची धातुः तु इकारान्तः अस्ति, तस्य विषये अच् प्रत्ययस्य प्राप्तिः अस्ति एरच इत्यनेन। अतः निश्चिनोतेः इत्यत्र तु अचोपवादः इति अच् प्रत्ययस्य अपवादरूपेण अप इति प्रत्ययः विधीयते। So that's how we enter the third section, the section of apa pratyayas. तत्र प्रारंभे रुदोरप तथा ग्रहवृद्रु निश्चिगमश इत्येतयोः अध्ययनात् अनन्तरम् अग्रे बहूनि सूत्राणि सन्ति। सर्वत्र अप इति प्रत्ययः घञ् प्रत्ययस्य अपवादरूपेण विधीयते। एतानि सर्वाणि बहु सरलानि सूत्राणि, very simple sutras, no shastra, no detailed discussion, one or two minor points here and there, but the sutras are so simple that merely by reading Kashika or Kaumudi you should be able to understand the meanings on your own. So today we will take study or go through a significant number of sutras. So upasarge daha naunacha vyadhajapo raunupasarge and so on up to, I would like to go till here bhavenupasargasya. So around 16 to 17 sutras I want to cover in today's class. So let's start. As I mentioned, sutras are extremely easy. We'll follow the list and go over one by one. So tatra prarambhe prathamam sutram upasarge Adaha. Bahu saralam sutram. As soon as, I mean, when you see the sutra, it should be easy for you to understand the meaning. Ada iti dhatuhu asti. Upasargaha tatra asti. Chet tatra apapratyah bhavati. So up ityeva sarvatra idanim apapratyaseva prakaranam agre anuvartate. Ataha nyase api spashtikrutam asti. Ita uttaratrapi हलन्ताद् अवविधीयमानः घञः apavadah veditavyah. So essentially the section of up has now started, and we don't want to say it again and again that ghaya pratyaya asit tasya apavadatvena apa pratyaya and so on. We will try to say it, but even if we forget, we have to remember tatra ghayah apavadah up iti pratyayah bhavati. So upasarge upapade ad bhakshane iti dhatoh, to eat iti dhatoh up pratyayah bhavati. So pra plus ad plus up, we get praghasaha. Ada iti dhatoh ghas adeshah bhavati. We have seen this sutra. I have also written it right next to here because it comes in the immediate sequence in Kaumudi. So ghaya poshcha iti sutrena ardha dhatuka ityasmin adhikare asti. All the way in the beginning in our flowchart, ardha dhatuka pratyay vivakshayam ayam अस्य सूत्रस्य प्रयोगं कृत्वा इदं परिवर्तनं भवति. घञ् अपि च परतः इत्युक्ते तयोः विवक्षायाम् अदधातोः घस् आदेशः भवति. So in presence of or in the anticipation of a ghai pratyaya and apa pratyaya, why is ghai needed? Because if you have a standalone ada dhatu which does not have an upasarga, then this sutram is not applicable, and therefore the outsargika ghai pratyaya comes. Tatra ghaya इत्यस्य प्रयोगः भवति. उपसर्गः अस्ति चेत् तु अप इत्यस्य प्रयोगः भवति. So both the components are captured in the same sutram. घञ् अपि च परतः अदधातोः घस् आदेशः भवति. घासः प्रघसः. Both the examples have been given over here. घास and प्रघस. घास is घस plus घञ्. So ad giving घस plus घञ्, प्रघस इत्यत्र तु अप इति अस्ति. प्रकर्षेण भक्ष्यते इति प्रघसः, नो चेत् भक्ष्यते इति घासः. घास word is typically used to indicate the food of animals grazing. Whatever they graze is called ghas. Praghasah. Both the examples up and ghaya have been given over here. मूलसूत्रे अपि तादृशमेव प्रघसः विघसः. विघसः इति विशिष्टः शब्दः. वैश्वदेवशिष्टमन्नम्. In the Vaishwadeva Yajna, whatever is the remaining annam, that is called vighasa. Specific name again is given over here. Ghasah tu chatushpadam bhaksham. Ghas is the word used as a food, the fodder for the chatushpadas, the animals. So praghasah vighasah उपसर्गे इति किं घासः. सरलं सूत्रम् अप स्यात् अदेः घस् स्यात् घञ् अपि च प्रघसः विघसः उपसर्गे किं घासः. There is a question over here. Why does rut id dhatoh does an ikara desha after rudorapa? I'm sorry, I have no clue what you're asking. Okay, I'll take. I don't understand this, but we'll take it later on. If you're asking about this lu over here, this is itsamnya kalu. It goes away. So you have ghasa plus apa giving ghasa, and ghasa plus ghaya giving ghasa. And if you're asking about rudu padha dhato, oh, on the previous slide, why does rudait dhato ho does not do an ikara desha? Let me just check this before I answer this. It should actually. Strange. I'll find this out and let you know. I can't think of any particular answer at this point. Anga sekara deshaha bhavati. Okay, I'll take a look at this and let you know. There's actually a good question. There are a few more questions. Let me take a look. Is ghaslu हलन्त और अजन्त, इट इज हलन्त घस्स इति अस्ति, तत्र घस्लु इति लुकारः इत्संज्ञकः अस्ति, तस्य अन्यत्र कुत्रचित् प्रयोजनं दृश्यते। सो लुकारः इत्संज्ञकः, तस्य लोपः भवति, घस्स इति तत्र अवशिष्यते। सो इट इज अ हलन्त घस्स प्लस that's why you get an उपधा वृद्धि over here. So घस्स प्लस घय इत्यत्र अत उपधायाः इति उपधा वृद्धिः भवति, घास इति भवति। somebody is pointing another example, गम्लु इति धातुः अस्ति, तादृशः एव अत्र घस्लु इति आदेशः। There is no rukara. Somebody is asking, is there a rukara over here? No, there is no rukara. This is not to be pronounced as ghaslru. This is ghaslu. When you say ghaslu, there is a single vowel over here. If you say ghaslru, there is ghasalru. That's not what we are talking over here. There is a single lu. It has a prayojanam in lung lakara, not here. I think it goes away. Not I think, it definitely goes away. Ghasa plus upper or ghasa plus ghaya iti prakriya bhavati. Okay, agre gacchamaha. There is actually something more interesting over here which I was expecting somebody to ask. So there were so many questions, but there is one question that I did not actually get, which I was expecting. So in the Dhatu Patha, actually I have typed over here, in the Dhatu Patha, if you do a little search in the Dhatu Patha, you can see that there is a Dhatu called Ghaslu Adane. So there is a separate Dhatu called Ada, which is in the Adadi Gana Atti iti tasya rupam bhavati. Parantu tatra bhinnah dhatuhu api asti. Ghaslu Adane is a separate dhatu, like how asa and bhu are different dhatus and aster bhuhu converts asa to bhuhu, or bru and vacha are different dhatus and bru converts to vacha, and so on. So there is a separate dhatu called ghassa in the dhatu patha. So look at this particular sutram, upasarge daha. So what he is saying is, when there is an upasarga, other dhatu gets an apapratyaya, and what is going to happen is, in the prakriya, other will get converted to ghasa because of this particular sutram, and then the further prakriya happens. The question that we want to raise is that अत्र अदधातोः उपसर्गे किमर्थम् अपप्रत्ययः उक्तः, घसधातोः उपसर्गे अपप्रत्ययः वक्तव्यः. So there is a separate dhatu called ghasa. Take that dhatu and upasarge daha ityasya sthane upasarge ghasaha iti vadantu. So ghasa dhatoः विषये तत्र उपसर्गः अस्ति चेत् अपप्रत्ययः भवेत्, and then if you do that, then other will never get an apa pratyaya. So in the ghaya poshcha sutra, apa fragment can be completely gotten rid of. So उपसर्गे दहा इति उक्त्वा अदधातोः तत्र घञ् प्रत्यय अपप्रत्ययः, तदनन्तरम् अदधातोः तत्र अग्रे घस्स इति परिवर्तनम् इति सर्वं किमर्थं करणीयम्? अद इत्यस्य स्थाने घस धातोः एव अयं प्रत्ययः किमर्थं नोच्यते इति तत्र प्रश्नः. तस्य उत्तरं न्यासे दत्तमस्ति, अग्रे अग्रिमकरपत्रे पश्यामः. So the question that he asks over here is, अथ किमर्थं अदेहे अब विधीयते? Why is ab up being attached to the other dhatu? अथ किमर्थम अदेहे अप विधीयते? न घसेः प्रकृत्यन प्रकृति अनंत अंतरादेव विधीयते. कम पुनरेव कः पुनः एवं सति गुणो भवति? So what is the point of having a two-step process? Define it for other and then let other convert to ghasa. So he says there is no point in doing a two-step process. Adehe api ghaslu, typing mistake. Adehe api ghaslu bhavaha na kartavyah bhavati. You just directly define it for ghasa and then you don't need to do a two-step process. Satyametat, that is correct. So if it would have been a single standalone sutram like this, then it was perfectly acceptable. But what Panini wants to do is, Panini wants to take this other as an anuvrutti in the next sutram naunacha, and specifically for enabling that anuvrutti, he chooses to have other instead of ghasa and then adds upper in ghaya posture. So he says satyametat tathapi उत्तरार्थम अदेहे विहितम. What is happening in the next step? In the next sutra, nauna cha ityatra ni iti upasargah asti. Idanim ni ityasya upasargasya upasthitau ada ityasya ghasa ityatra parivartanam naiva sambhavati. The parivartanam from ada to ghasa is only for the pratyayas ghaya and apa. It is uh, not for the pratyayana which is being given in the next sutram. So nauna cha ityatra na iti kashana nutanaha pratyayah acharyaihi pathyate asya na pratyasya vishaye adadhatoho kimapi agre parivartanam na bhavati ataha upasargedah इत्यस्य स्थाने उपसर्गे घसः इति यदि प्रयोगः क्रियते तर्हि अग्रिमसूत्रे नौण च इत्यस्य स्थाने अदधातोः पृथक् निर्देशः भवेत्. So in order to reuse the other dhatu across two sutras, he first decides to add an other over here, but what he wants is ghasa. So then he creates another upper entry in ghaya posh and enables the conversion of other to ghasa. See, this is all completely artificial. When you look at the word praghasa or when you look at the word ghasa, whether it starts with other or whether it starts with ghasa really doesn't matter for the person who is going to use that particular word. Both dhatus have similar meanings, exactly identical meanings. So you might want to start with ghasa, you might want to start with other. Probably a logical answer is to start with a ghasa. But if you start with a ghasa, then in this pair of sutras, in the previous sutram, you need to add a ghasa, and in the next word, you need to add an other. In order to avoid that particular repetition, he randomly converts other to ghasa, writes upasarge daha over here, and that other to ghasa is also applicable for other pratyayas. So ghai aposha ityatra ghai pratyasya sane asti. I think lung lakarasya vishaye api ada ityasya ghasa adesha bhavati. So he combines multiple use cases there, not just this particular thing, but he combines all the uses, various use cases over there, and decides to have an other dhatu over here. So creating a sutram is not just a standalone task. You have to think from 10 different ways before that particular sutram can be created. And this is a very beautiful example of it. If you just want to create a standalone sutram, upasarge ghasaha might be an appropriate sutram. But when you want to fix this sutram in the context of multiple other sutras, upasarge adaha is a better choice. So he says, सत्यमेतत् तथापि उत्तरार्थम अदेहे विहितम नौण च इति अदेहे यथा स्यात् घसेहे मा भूत् इति. ण प्रत्यय is not to be attached to ghasa, ण प्रत्यय is attached to other. Somebody is asking, the word praghasa is also valid for the bhwadi ganasya ghasa dhatu. So for the bhwadi ganasya ghasa dhatu, it will always be ghai pratyaya. So you can definitely use the word praghasa. Now where it is actually used, I cannot recollect at this statement, or probably I don't even know. But yes, I mean, if you take the bhwadi ganasya ghasa dhatu, it is perfectly possible to attach a ghai pratyaya in all the contexts. Actually, there is more to that. If I'm not mistaken, look at this is something I was remembering. अस्य धातोः विषये सिद्धांत कौमुद्याम उच्यते अयम न सार्वत्रिकः. So basically this dhatu does not get all the pratyayas that are generally applicable. So this is the only reference in the Siddhanta Kaumudi. Ayam na sarvatrikaha. This statement itself means sarvatrika. सर्वत्र यत्र यत्र अन्ये प्रत्ययाः भवितुमर्हन्ति तत्र तत्र अयं अस्मात् धातोः ते प्रत्ययाः भवन्ति एव इति न आवश्यकम्. किमर्थं लिटि अन्यतरस्याम् इति घस्लादेश विधानात्. So other is anyway getting converted to ghasa. So anytime when you get the same form by applying the dhatu, applying that pratyay to other, there is no need to apply the same pratyay to ghasa. He does not exactly enumerate, or I have not done further research on enumerating the exact places where ghasa dhatu gets a certain pratyay or ghasa dhatu doesn't get a certain pratyay. But as you can see over here, here ghasa dhatoho ashirling lakare एवमेव कुत्रचित् अन्यत्रापि कर्मणि प्रयोगे लिट् लकारे, so I just looked up some 2-3 sources and found out these, तत्र तत्र एतानि रूपाणि न भवन्ति। घञ् प्रत्ययस्य विषये भवति वा इत्यस्मिन् विषये मया किमपि साहित्ये नो चेत् तत्र व्याकरणपुस्तकेषु न दृष्टम्, अतः प्रायः भवन्ति इति वदामः। अन्ते तु प्रयोगशरणाः एव वैयाकरणाः। सो घस धातोः घञ् प्रत्ययः भवति वा, प्रायः भवति। प्रघास इति रूपं साधु अस्ति वा, तत्र साहित्ये दृश्यते चेत् साधु, साहित्ये न दृश्यते चेत् प्रायः अस्य सिद्धान्तस्य आधारेण तादृशः प्रत्ययः न भवति इति अपि वक्तुं शक्यते। So thanks somebody asked this. This was I was not planning to explain this point at all. Okay, agre gacchamaha. So naunacha is the basic sutram. Naunacha ityasya sutrasya nirmanartham eva atra ada iti prayuktah asti. Atha asya sutrasya artham pashyamaha. Ni shabde upapade, ni iti upasargah asti. Ni shabde upapade adadhatoho na pratyah bhavati. चकारः अस्ति, चकारात् अप इति अपि प्रत्ययः भवति। न्यादः, निघसः, सो एक्ट ऑफ ईटिंग इत्येव अर्थः, नो चेत् भोजनम् इति तत्र अर्थः भवितुम् अर्हति। सो न्यादः, नी प्लस अद प्लस ण उपधः वृद्धि, न्याद, नी प्लस अद प्लस अप, सो चकारात् अप अपि भवति। अप in presence of upper, ni will become other will become ghasa, same as the previous sutram upasargedah. So tatra praghasah iti asit, tasya sthane idanim nighasah iti bhavati. So nyad and nighasa. So this nyad is the whole reason why he does not say upasarge ghasah, but he says upasarge adaha. That's the second sutram. So we had upasargedah नौणच। अग्रिमं सूत्रम व्यध जपोः अनुपसर्गे, बहु सरलं सूत्रम। व्यध धातु ताडने हिट इति अर्थः, व्यध धातु तथा च जप धातु, जप व्यक्तायां वाचि, मानसे इति अपि अर्थः अस्ति। सो बेसिकली टू डू द जप। सो व्यध जप इत्येतयोः अनुपसर्गयोः, व्यध जपोः अनुपसर्गे, अनुपसर्गयोः अप इति प्रत्ययः भवति। घञ् प्रत्ययस्य अपवादः, तत्र हलन्तः धातुः अस्ति, घञ् प्रत्ययः भवति, तस्य अपवादः व्यध। दिस इज नॉट वि उपसर्ग एंड अध धातु, दिस इज व्यध धातु इटसेल्फ। सो व्यध प्लस अप व्यध, जप प्लस अप जप, नथिंग इज देयर। सो व्यध वाउंड इति अर्थः, जप संजाप इति अर्थः। अनुपसर्गे इति किम्, आव्याधः, आङ् उपसर्गः अस्ति, इंजुरी इति अर्थः, इंसिजन कट इति अपि अर्थः अस्ति। आव्याध इति अस्ति, आ उपसर्गः अस्ति चेत् तु घञ् प्रत्यये कृते आव्याध, यत्र यत्र घञ् प्रत्ययः भवति तत्र उपधा वृद्धिः। आ प्लस व्यध, आ प्लस घञ् आव्याध, उप प्लस जप प्लस घञ् उपजाप, टू रिवील अ सीक्रेट, मंत्रभेदः इति उपजापः नाम्ना ज्ञायते। सो आव्याध उपजाप उभयत्र घञ् प्रत्ययः भवति। Now there is something interesting going on in this sutram which is discussed in Tattvabodhini. When you read vyadha japoho anupasarge, first of all this is anupasarge, typing mistake over here, vyadha japo ranupasarge, so anupasarge न उपसर्गे। so anupasarge ityatra punah tatra akarah asti, so we have to train our brains. Anytime you see this word like anupasarge, so starting with an akara, you have to ask a question to yourself, is it prasajya pratishedha or is it paryudasa? Now when you want to say, now by this time we all must be expert what is prasajya pratishedha and what is paryudasa. अनुपसर्गे इति पर्युदासः क्रियते चेत् उपसर्गः नास्ति परन्तु अन्यत् किञ्चित् अस्ति। सो अब्राह्मणम् आनय मीन्स ब्रिंग somebody else, that's paryudasa. सो अनुपसर्गे इति पर्युदासः स्वीक्रियते चेत् उपसर्गः न भवेत् परन्तु अन्यत् किमपि भवेत्, सो उपपदं भवेत्। अन्यत् इत्युक्ते उपपदमेव, तत्र अन्य तृतीयः विकल्पः नास्ति। So if you want to take anupasarge as paryudasa, it will mean non-upasarga and therefore upapada. Whereas if you want to take it as a prasajya pratishedha, it will mean don't have an upasarga. Whether you bring the dhatu alone or whether you bring the dhatu along with upapada doesn't really matter. Now, because the valid forms are vadha and japa, tatra upasargaha nasti, upapadam api nasti, atah tatra anupasarge iti prasajya pratishedha pakshaha eva ashreyaniyaha. So, looking at the prayogas, you can easily, this is actually a simpler case. You can easily find out whether it is a prasajya pratishedha paksha or paryudasa. Had this been paryudasa paksha, anupasarge would forcefully bring in a non-upasarga, which is an upapada. But that's not what we want. We also want to use this sutram for a standalone dhatu where there is neither upasarga nor upapada, nothing. So we have to resort to prasajya pratishedha paksha that has been explained in Tattva Bodhini. Anupasarga iti prasajya pratishedha upasarge sati na bhavati. So upasargaha nasti chet bhavati. Kevalabhyam eva bhavati. Look at this. As soon as you say prasajya pratishedha, it is the kriya that has to be negated. Upasarge sati na bhavati. That's the negation of the kriya. Abrahmanam anaya means brahmanam na anaya, naiva anaya. That is prasajya pratishedha. So tena kevalabhyam eva bhavati na tu upasarga vyatirikte anyasmin upapade. Vritti granthaha api asmin eva arthe vyakhyeyaha. So vritti granthe ityukte kashikayam yatra anupasargayoho iti uktamasti ayameva tatra arthaha कः अर्थः उपसर्गः नास्ति अन्यत् उपपदं भवेत् उत न भवेत् तस्मिन् विषये चिन्तनं न करणीयम्. And this is a point that you don't see in Kashika, you don't see in Kaumudi, but you have to dig deeper into Tattva Bodhini or some other commentaries. And again, this shows the importance of not only relying on one commentary and going across multiple commentaries so as to have the complete understanding of the sutram. Apasyat vyadhaha japaha upasarge avyadhaha upajapaha is just straight copy from Kashika. Agre gacchamaha. Idanim vikalpena apapratyasa vidhanam prarabhate. So look at this. Swanaha sorva. Va iti tatra asti. Swanaha sorva yamas samupanivishucha naugadanadapathaswanaha Kvano Vinayancha. These four sutras are all optional. This Va comes all the way as an anuvritti in the four sutras. By the way, how the human brain works, at the back of mind, I was continuously thinking about the question that somebody asked in the beginning. Atra Hruday dhatoho iti kimartham na bhavati. Silly answer, and why I was not able to recollect it. Atra sarvadhatuka ardhadhatukayoho iti bhavati. When you have the scope for sarvadhatuka ardhadhatukayoho, there is, you don't have to think about hruday dhatoho. Hruday dhatoho ityasya apekshaya sarvadhatuka ardhadhatuko iti paratvat tasya praptihi. Only when the guna or vruddhi is blocked by kit or nit pratyaya, you go to hruday dhatoho and other things. So anytime you can think of sarvadhatuka ardhadhatukayoho or puganta laghupadasya cha, don't even think of rutayid dhatoho. Okay, that makes me happy that I was able to answer. Okay, anyway, let's come back. So we have this swanaha sorva yamas samupanivishucha naugadhanada swanaha kvano vinayam cha. Okay, so let's take the first one, swanaha sorva. अनुपसर्गे इत्येव स्वनहसोः अनुपसर्गयोः वा अपप्रत्ययः भवति. So for the swana and the hasa dhatus, swana shabde avatansane is to decorate, avatansane no chet shabde तथा hasane iti dhatoh vikalpena apapratyaya bhavati. So as I mentioned, va is coming in those four sutras. Vikalpa for what? Vikalpa for the outsargika ghaya pratyaya. So there will be ghaya, and that is being optionally blocked by apa. So स्वनः सोवो अनुपसर्गयोः वा अपप्रत्ययः भवति. स्वनः स्वानः हसः हासः अनुपसर्गे इति किं प्रस्वानः प्रहासः. सरलमस्ति. घय प्रत्ययः भवति चेत् स्वानः शब्दः ध्वनिः इति अर्थः. बोथ द मीनिंग्स आर सेम. स्वन अपप्रत्ययः अस्ति चेत् स्वनः. हसः हासः द लाफ् सर्वत्र भावे इति अर्थः स्वीकरणीयः. Even if it is not evident when I speak the meaning, by default it is to be talked in bhave. So swanaha, swanaha, the act of making the sound or to sound. Hasaha, hasaha, the laugh, the act of laughing, and so on. Anupasarge iti kim? Praswanaha, prahasaha iti shabdaha. Same explained in Kaumudi. Apa pakshe ghaya swanaha swanaha hasaha hasaha anupasarge ityeva praswanaha prahasaha. Agrimam sutram yamas samupanivishu cha swanaha sorva yamas samupanivishu cha. So single dhatu is there. Yama अपरिवेशणे तथा उपरमे इति भ्वादिगणे विद्यते, परिवेशणे इति चुरादौ विद्यते. So comes in multiple meanings in multiple ganas. So yama iti dhatuः अस्मात् धातोः उपसर्गस्य अनुपस्थितौ, so च इति अस्ति, so अनुपसर्गे इत्यस्य अनुवृत्तिः, so उपसर्गस्य अनुपस्थितौ तथा च विशिष्टानाम् उपसर्गाणां वा उपस्थितौ सम इति अस्ति, उप इति अस्ति, नी इति अस्ति, वि इति अस्ति. कश्चन विशिष्टः उपसर्गः एतेषु अन्यतरः अस्ति चेत्, अन्यतमः अस्ति चेत्, नो चेत् चकारेण अनुपसर्गात्. सो उपसर्गः नास्ति चेत् सर्वत्र घञ् प्रत्ययस्य अपवादरूपेण अप इति विकल्प्यते, विकल्पेन भवति. सो अनुपसर्गे वा इति वर्तते. सम उप नी वि इत्येतेषु उपपदेषु अनुपसर्गे अपि यमेः वा अपप्रत्ययः भवति. घञ् प्रत्ययस्य अपवादः संयमः, संयामः, कंट्रोल. उपयमः, वेडिंग, मैरिज. उपयामः, मीनिंग्स आर सेम. नियमः, restriction, rule. Niyamaha, viyamaha, dukkham, viyamaha. You can look up the meanings in the dictionary. I am recollecting from memory. So viyamaha, viyamaha. Anupasargat khalvapi yamaha. उपसर्गः नास्ति चेदपि तत्र चकारेण अस्यैव सूत्रस्य प्रयोगः. यमः इति अपप्रत्ययः पक्षे यामः. So yama dhatoho सामान्य रूपेण अन्यः उपसर्गः अस्ति. Now I don't know whether there is another example, probably abhiyamah or prayamah are possible words. तत्र तु घञ् प्रत्ययः एव भवति, परन्तु सम उपसर्गः अस्ति, उप उपसर्गः अस्ति, नी उपसर्गः अस्ति, वि उपसर्गः अस्ति. तत्र सर्वत्र अप इति प्रत्ययः विकल्पेन भवति. There is a question over here. Sama upa ni vi ityeteshu upapadeshu iti kimartham uktam asti, upasargeshu iti kimartham nochyate. Asmin sandarbhe tatra kopi bhedah nasti. Specifically, he probably prefers to use the term upapadeshu because these are all in saptami. So tatropapadam saptami stham might make it an upapada, and if it makes it an upapada, saying an upapada doesn't really harm. So whether you say upasarga or upapada doesn't really, I mean, eventually in this particular context, it doesn't matter. Let's see what he has used the words earlier. So I think upasarge, upapade. So here also when you say upasarge, he says upasarge, upapade. Upasarga iti saptami asti. Ataha tatra upasargas upasarga samnyakam upapadam asti iti artha. So that's just a style of writing. Specifically here, it's not going to make any difference. So where were we here? So eteshu anupasarge yamadhatoho apapratyah bhavati. All these are examples. Agrimam sutram nau gada nada pathaswanaha. Ni iti upasargaha. Now again, I mean, you should be able to pick this on your own. Ni iti upasargaha. Ekaha eva upasarga asti chatvaraha dhatavaha. The condition got reversed. Look at this. There were sama upa nivi, 4 upasargas and 1 dhatu. Now it just got flipped up. 1 dhatu and 4 upasarga. Sorry, 4 dhatus and 1 upasarga. Ni iti dhatuhu gad vyaktayam vachi. So ni gad, ni gad. I mean, you can construct words on your own immediately. Nada, ni nada, ni nada. Patha, ni patha, ni patha. Recitation. Swana, niswana. Loud noise, loud sound. Niswana. Ityatra ete shabdaha bhavanti. Same thing. Apavasyat, nigada, nigada. Both of them means the speech to talk. Ninada, ninada, sound. So avyakte shabde, not a sound created to mean something, but ninada, say a musical instrument, or say clouds, uh, uh, what meeting each other or whatever, striking each other. So that kind of nina, the sound of say rain or these things. Damaru is somebody saying typical word nina, the used for damru. Nanada dhakkam nava panchavara. So nada dhatu is typically used in that context. Nipatha, nipatha, recitation. Niswana, niswana, loud noise, loud sound iti arthaha. नौगदनदपठस्वनः क्वणो वीणायाञ्च. अग्रिमं सूत्रं क्वणो वीणायाञ्च. क्वण इति धातुः क्वण शब्दे इति धातुः अस्ति. अस्य धातोः विषये किं भवति? चकारेण तत्र पूर्वस्मात् सूत्रात् नौ अनुपसर्गे इति सर्वम् अनुवर्तते. दिस इज स्लाइटली non intuitive. So typically what it would mean is kvano vidayam. So one might say, think that the kvana dhatu gets the particular apapratyaya in the context of veena, in the meaning of veena. Now what happens is that that particular interpretation is correct, but it is not complete. So kvano veenayam is actually one component which would mean what you think it means, that kvana iti dhatuhu asti. In order to indicate something related to a veena, veena is a musical instrument. So in order to indicate something related to veena, the kvana dhatu gets apapratyaya. So this is one component of this particular sutram. The other component, unrelated component, is brought about by cha. So this chakara brings up the anuvrutti of ni, it brings the anuvrutti of anupasarga, and it also brings the anuvrutti of va. So what is happening is kvana iti dhatuhu, anupasarga is coming as an anuvrutti. This has nothing to do with veena. Ni iti upasargaha dvitiya anuvrutti. This has again nothing to do with veena. And there is a third component called veena. So three different situations where you get an apapratyaya. So kvana shabde, to make sound, ityasmat dhatoho upasargaha nasti chet apapratyayah bhavati. Ni iti upasargaha asti chet apapratyayah bhavati. So in these two contexts, you don't have to worry about the meaning. It can be veena, it can be something else. And the third clause, yadi kashchana veena visheshah asti, name of a particular veena, then tatra upasargasya chintanam na karaniyam. So basically these three components, anupasarga, ni and veena, they are not coming together. They are representing three different aspects of the sutram. So kvana dhatoho trishu विषयेषु तिसृषु अवस्थासु अपप्रत्ययः भवति. वीणा संदर्भः अस्ति चेत् तत्र उपसर्गस्य चिन्तनं न आवश्यकम्. मी उपसर्गः अस्ति चेत् तत्र अर्थस्य चिन्तनं न आवश्यकम्. अपि च उपसर्गः नास्ति चेदपि तत्र अर्थस्य चिन्तनं न आवश्यकम्. सो क्वणो वीणायाञ्च नौ वा अनुपसर्गे इति वर्तते. क्वणतेः धातोः नी पूर्वात् क्लॉज नंबर 1, अनुपसर्गात् क्लॉज नंबर 2, वीणायाम क्लॉज नंबर 3, and any of them is acceptable. All this is va. Everything is optional. So va apapratyayah bhavati. He makes it clear, sopasargartham veenayaha grahanam. So if it was anupasarga, then anyway clause 1 was satisfied. If it was ni upasarga, then anyway clause 2 was satisfied. So this veena thing that we are talking about is other upasarga, like pra iti upasarga asti, abhi iti upasarga asti, ati iti upasarga asti. Tasya vishaye atra veena iti sandarbha. So it is a name of a particular veena. So वीणायाम खल्वपि कल्याण प्रक्वणा वीणा. It's a name of a particular veena. कल्याण प्रक्वणा वीणा. So निक्वण निक्वाण, निक्वण निक्वाण इत्यत्र नि इति उपसर्गः. क्वण क्वाण इत्यत्र उपसर्गः नास्ति. वीणायां खल्वपि कल्याण प्रक्वणा वीणा इति उदाहरणम्. एतेषु इति किम् अन्यः उपसर्गः अस्ति. So if it is an ati upasarga which does not talk about veena, so the last clause is not there, anupasarga clause is not there, and a ni clause is not there, so then you don't get this sutram, which means you only get ghaya. So atikvanaha. In these three cases it is either apa or ghaya. In all other cases it is only ghaya. So कौमुद्यां तत्र स्पष्टरूपेण लिखितमस्ति नौ अनुपसर्गे च वीणा विषया च क्वणतेः अपवास्यात् वीणाग्रहर्थं प्राद्यर्थं. सो नि उपसर्गस्य विषये नास्ति, प्र तथा अन्यस्य उपसर्ग विषये अस्ति. निक्वणः निक्वाणः क्वणः क्वाणः, दिस इज फॉर अनुपसर्ग. वीणायां प्रक्वणः प्रक्वाणः. So this pair of examples is important because veena asti chedapi tatra vikalpena avashyam bhavati. So you can have prakvanaha, you can have prakvanaha. Iti udaharanani santi. So Padamanjari also explains the same part which has been highlighted in Kashika. Sopasargartham idam veena grahanam ni vyatirikta upasargartham ayam arthaha. So sopasargartham doesn't mean only me, because if it was only me there was no problem, no point in writing veena vishesha. Ni upasargasya upasthito sarveshu artheshu bhavati. So ni vyatirikta upasargartham idam drashtavyam ni purvat anupasargat cha सामान्येन विधानात्. नि उपसर्गः अस्ति, उपसर्गः नास्ति चेत् सामान्येन एव भवति. ओके, अग्रे क्वणो वीणायां च नित्यं पणः परिमाणे. So he starts the sutram with nityam, thereby telling us that whatever va was coming is now stopped. So vyadhajapor anupasarge iti yavat paryantam compulsory apapratyaya asit. तदनन्तरं स्वनः सोर्वा यमः समुपनिविषु च वा नौ गद नद पठस्वनः वा क्वणो वीणायाञ्च वा. Till now there was vikalpa. Now again nityam panaha parimane. विशिष्ट परिमाणस्य निर्देशार्थं तत्र परिमाणाख्यायां सर्वेभ्यः इत्यत्र सर्वेभ्यः धातुभ्यः परिमाणस्य निर्देशार्थं घय प्रत्ययः all the way in the beginning we saw तस्यापि बाधकरूपेण पण इति धातुः अस्ति. व्यवहार स्तुति इति अर्थः. तस्य विषये अप इति प्रत्ययः भवति. पण व्यवहारे स्तुतौ च अस्मात् धातोः परिमाण निर्देशार्थम अप प्रत्ययः भवति. प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड दिस. पण is a specific धातु. गुपु धूप विच्छिपणि पनिभ्य आयः इत्यनेन तस्मात् धातोः आय इति स्वार्थिक प्रत्ययः विधीयते. आर्ध धातुक विवक्षायां सह विकल्प्यते आयादयार्ध धातुके वा इत्यनेन. So while writing the prakriya, you cannot just directly say pana plus apa. You have to tell this sutram गुपु धूप विच्छिपणिपनिभ्य आयः and then say आयादयार्ध धातुके वा इति सह विकल्प्यते, अतः अत्र न भवति. So पण प्लस घय पण प्लस अप इति अत्र प्रक्रिया अग्रे भवति. पश्यामः. सो पण व्यवहारे स्तुतौ च अस्मात् धातोः नित्यम् अप प्रत्ययः भवति परिमाणे गम्यमाने. कः अर्थः? So pana means vyavahara, basically to do conduct some kind of business. So imagine a shopkeeper who is selling some, say, green vegetables, spinach or whatever, coriander, and the way these green vegetables are typically sold is that the small sticks or leaves of these green vegetables, they are tied together with a thread with some rubber band or something, and that gets sold as one unit. That is exactly the context where the pana dhatu gets the upper pratyaya. So mulaka panaha, a bunch of radish roots that are sold as one unit. Nobody sells a single radish, but 3 or 4 of them are tied together and sold as a single unit. Typically more rather than moolaka radish, it's probably more applicable to leafy vegetables, say spinach or say coriander and so on. So he gives a general example, shakapanaha, and then he explains samvyavaraya moolakadinam parimitaha mushtihi badhyate. the group of 3 or 4 radish that is tied together and sold as a single unit, mushtihi badhyate, tasya idam abhidhanam. So that is called a mulakapana, or the say coriander group is called shakapana. This is a kind of parimana, just like the way a rashi was a parimana. We saw all the way in the beginning, parimanakhyayam sarvebhyah तत्र यथा राशि इति आसीत् तथैव अत्र किञ्चन विशेष परिमा कश्चन परिमाण विशेषः. सो तत्र परिमाणे गम्यमाने अपप्रत्ययः भवति मूलकस्य पणः मूलकपणः, शाकस्य पणः शाकपणः, एंड सो ऑन. संव्यवहाराय मूलकादीनां यः परिमितः मुष्टिः बध्यते, सेम थिंग रिपीटेड इन कौमुदी. व्यवहारार्थं मूलकादीनां परिमितः मुष्टिर्बध्यते, सः अस्य विषयः. परिमाणे किं केवलं व्यवहारः, केवलं स्तुतिः इति अस्ति चेत् धात्वर्थे भावे घय प्रत्यये कृते पण प्लस घय पाण इति तत्र शब्दः सिद्ध्यति. somebody is saying आपणः इति अपि शब्द अस्मादेव भवति वा? प्रायः न भवति, न जानामि. तत्र व्याख्यानेषु तु नैव लिखितमस्ति. मे बी इन् कल्पद्रुम यू माइट फाइंड दिस वृत्ति. आपण आपण्यते अस्मिन्. If you say आपण्यते अस्मिन्, then a better candidate is karणाधिकरणयोश्च. So if you go to sheet number 10, there is this karणाधिकरणयोश्च and there is halascha. So halanta dhatuhu asti, but that is a ghai pratyaya. So it would be apana. Probably what you're saying is right. We need to see in Kalpadruma or Vachaspatyam to see if apana. If somebody has it handy, can see and let us know if apana is always also derived from this sutram. But anyway, the examples given over here is Mulakapana and Shapana. Shakapana. Agrimam Pramada Sammadau Harshe. Did I miss one sutram? Madonupasarge. Right. So Nityam Panaf Parimane Madonupasarge. So somebody is saying it is Acha Pratyaya. Is it what? Which sutram is that? Is this Nandigrahi Pachadibhyo Luninnecha? How is Acha Pratyaya? Because it has to be used in Kartari if it is Acha Pratyaya. Apana does not seem to be in the Kartari. It seems to be Adhikarane probably. Apanyate atra vyavariyate atra, probably apanayante asmin iti, something like that. Anyway, I don't know the derivation. It's all guess. We'll find out later on. अग्रे गच्छामः. नित्यं पणः परिमाणे इति अस्माभिः पठितं. मदोनुपसर्गे प्रमदसम्मदौ हर्षे. मद इति धातुः, तस्य विषये सूत्रद्वयं. मद हर्षग्लेपनयोः. To be very happy or to be intoxicated, not necessarily with toxic substances, also applicable, but can also be used in the context of, intoxicated because of knowledge, because of power, because of money or whatever. So mad iti tatra shabdah bahu prachalitah shabdah tatra सिद्ध्यति. सो मदः अनुपसर्गे, उपसर्गः नास्ति चेत् मद इति धातोः अप प्रत्ययः भवति. घय प्रत्ययस्य अपवादः. धनस्य मदः, कुलस्य मदः, born in a family, certain family, or having a lot of money and so on. So मद इति उपसर्गः नास्ति चेत् अप प्रत्ययान्त रूपं सिद्ध्यति. अनुपसर्गात् अप्रत्ययः भवति. घयोपवादः. अनुपसर्गे इति किम्? उन्मादः, प्रमादः इति उदाहरणानि. So very well known words. Pramada is oversight or asavadhanam. Alasyam iti api arthah asti. Okay, on that apana, somebody is saying that apte kosha gives a ghai pratyaya and kalpadruma gives an acha pratyaya. So they themselves don't seem to be in um, resonance with each other. So acha doesn't seem correct for me. It doesn't look correct because apana. See, acha is in the kartari sense. We have to understand the vrittis properly. So acha by Nandigrihi Pachadibhyuludinecha probably comes in the kartari sense. Here apana is not the person who is doing the vyavahara. It's probably place that is doing the vyavahara. So say somebody is saying adhare ghai iti vachaspatye uktam asti. So that is exactly what I was saying in karanadhikaranartha. This one halascha, this is adhikarana, which is adhara. So halanta dhatu gives a ghaya pratyaya, but a plus pana plus somebody actually looked at the vritti apanayante asmin. So that's exactly what I was saying earlier. The place where the business is conducted, and the pratyaya is gha pratyaya and not ghaya. Look at this. Apanante tasmin iti apana. It was there all the way in front of my eyes. Etyaha tasmin apanante iti apanaha. So gochara sanchara vaha vraja vyajapana nigamascha. No point in memorizing the sutras if you cannot recollect them like this. This is for me. Gochara sanchara vaha vraja vyajapana nigamascha. So it's right in front of us. Apana. This is the sutram. Gha iti pratyaya करणधिकरणेषु. We'll come to this. This is sheet number 10. करणे तथा अधिकरणे प्रत्यय विधानम अस्ति. So that's the gha pratyaya over here. Okay. So finally the mystery is resolved, and we have this example over here. Eti tasmin apanante iti apanaha. So this is how the examples are useful. We can immediately find this out. Okay, let's go to the next one. मदोनुपसर्गे मदधातोः अनुपसर्गात् अपप्रत्ययः भवति. विद्यामदः, धनमदः, कुलमदः. Now somebody is asking, is this a paryudasa over here? So not necessarily. This is also prasajya pratishedha because mada standalone word exists. Here when you say dhanamadaha, you can, this is basically the samasa that is being probably done. Dhanasya madaha or dhanena probably madaha. So let's see if they have spoken anything about this. See this vidyaya madaha. So dhanena madaha, vidyaya madaha. That is the samasa that is being done over here, which means the mother is a separate word that exists. So the first step is to derive the word mother and then go to further samasas. So if the standalone mother word exists, it is definitely prasajya pratishedha. But this question is very important, and I'm happy that you have raised this question. So anytime you see this naya samasa happening in the sutram, we have to train our brains to ask this question: is this prasajya pratishedha or is this paryudasa? And then look at the examples, look at the commentary, and then get an answer. So मदोनुपसर्गे इत्यत्र अनुपसर्गे इति पुनः प्रसज्य प्रतिषेधः. किमर्थं मद इति स्टैंड अलोन शब्दः तत्र सिद्ध्यति. तदनन्तरं धनेन मदः, धनस्य मदः इति तत्र समासः भवितुम् अर्हति. अनुपसर्गे इति किम्? उन्मादः, प्रमादः. सो मदोनुपसर्गे प्रमद सम्मदौ हर्षे. हर्षः इति अर्थः अस्ति चेत् निपातनद्वयम् उक्तमस्ति. प्रमद सम्मद, प्रमद सम्मद इत्येतौ शब्दौ निपात्येते हर्षे अभिधेये. When हर्ष, ecstasy for example is the intended meaning, kanyanam pramadaha, this is a nipatanam. Kokilanam sammadaha, sammadaha, it is another nipatanam. Pramada sammada ityetau shabdau निपात्येते हर्षे अभिधेये. कन्यानां प्रमदः, कोकिलानां सम्मदः, हर्षे इति किं? प्रमादः. Same word over here as here. प्रमादः, सम्मादः, again intoxication by some power or knowledge or something. हर्षे इति किं? कौमुदीं पश्यामः, तदनन्तरं काशिकायाम् अन्यः विषयः किमर्थमस्ति तत् वदामि. हर्षे इति किं? प्रमादः, सम्मादः. One line. Now he says that why are you giving in Kashika? Here he is saying, why are you giving ready-made words? You can just say prasambhyam. So mada dhatoho anupasarge ityukte upasargah nasti chet tatra apapratyayah api cha pra upasargasya upasthitau sama upasargasya upasthitau iti api vaktum shakyate. So nipatana is typically given when you want to deviate from a rule given by Panini. So Panini does not allow a vruddhi, but you want to do a vruddhi. Panini does not allow an adesha, but you want to do an adesha. If you want to do those kind of things, then you do a nipatana. Here nothing is happening. So pra plus mother plus apa is pramada. Sama plus mother plus apa is some mother. Is perfect prakriya happening. So why you give the nipatanas? Atra prasambhyam इत्येव वक्तव्यम् इति तत्र प्रश्नः. So it's a valid question actually, and he gives his own explanation, which is subject to debate. So he says prasambhyam iti na uktam nipatanam rudhyartham. So the word pramada and sammada are to be only used in the meaning of harsha and nothing else. And therefore he explicitly gives these words pramada and sammada along with the meaning associated with them. So pramada sammada harshe ityuktva kimuchyate. प्रमद शब्दः सम्मद शब्दः विशिष्टे संदर्भे हर्षस्य निर्देशार्थम एव वक्तव्यः. Now one might ask obvious question tarhi prasambhyam harshe iti vaktavyam. So it would mean prasambhyam harshe abhidheye ayam pratyaya bhavati. So that is an acceptable counter argument. But Panini probably prefers to have this pramada sammada harshe. He has this pramada and sammada ready-made word given to us. Agre gacchamaha samudorajah pashushu. Running out of time, we have a few more, many more sutras rather to cover. So मदोनुपसर्गे प्रमद सम्मदौ हर्षे समुदोरजः पशुषु. So sam udoho ajah pashushu. So sam iti upasargah, ud iti upasargah, and aj iti dhatuhu. So samudorajah pashushu aj gatikshepanayoho. So to go or say to throw. अज इति धातोः सम तथा उद उपसर्गस्य उपस्थितौ अप इति प्रत्ययः भवति. समुदोः उपपदयोः अजेः धातोः पशुविषये धात्वर्थे अपप्रत्ययः भवति. So the result must be related to a pashu, something related to animals. Two different meanings are being derived. So let's go to the commentary and see. Sama इति यदा उपसर्गः प्रयुज्यते तदा सम प्लस अज प्लस अप will give samaj, that is used to indicate a samudaya, a herd of animals. So he says samapurvaha samudaye vartate. When you have the sama upasarga, it indicates the herd of animals. That is how it is related to animals. What is the form? Sama plus aja plus ghai samaj. Pashunam samajaha iti arthaha. If you have humans, then we will say samajaha. So samaja is a society. It's again a group of people, but then human beings. If it's an animal, we don't say samaja, we say samajaha pashunam. Samudayah ityarthaha. And if it is udda upasarga, utpurvascha prerane, a herd of animals or a particular animal moving ahead or approaching. So that particular action is indicated by udajaha. So udaja iti pashunam, the movement or approach of animals moving ahead. That particular action is called udajaha preranam iti arthaha. In a fight, for example, in a war, when the Kshatriyas are moving ahead, we say Udajaha. So Udajaha Kshatriyanam, that's a march forward of human beings. A similar march forward of animals will be called Udajaha. Udajaha Pashunam Preranam iti arthaha. Samajaha Pashunam Samudayaha iti arthaha. Pashuhu arthaha nasti chet Brahmananam Samajaha क्षत्रियाणाम उदाजः. संपूर्वः अजि समुदाये उत्पूर्वश्च प्रेरणे तस्मात्. So संपूर्वः अजि समुदाये, that's one component. उत्पूर्वः अजि प्रेरणे, that's another component. तस्मात् पशु विषयकाद् अप स्यात्. अघ्नयपोः इत्युक्तेः विभावः न. So अजेर् व्यघ्नयपोः इति सूत्रमस्ति all the way in the beginning. अजधातोः वि इति आदेशः भवति आर्धधातुक अधिकारः आर्धधातुक विवक्षायां, परन्तु अघञपोः. सो घञ् तथा अप प्रत्ययस्य विषये तादृशं परिवर्तनं न भवति, अतः अत्र अज इति तादृशः एव धातुः दृश्यते. Otherwise it would be aja getting converted to v and then other pratyas like tumun tavya tavyat would be added. But here what is happening is because the sutram explicitly has aghayapoho. We are not going to discuss this transformation in the context of ghaya and in the context of apapratyaya. So ghaya is used for samaja and udaja. Apa is used for samaja and udaja. So aghayapoho ityukte vibhavaha na, samajaha ityukte pashunam sanghaha, udajaha ityukte moving ahead, pashunam preranam, पशुषु इति किम, ब्राह्मणानां समाजः, क्षत्रियाणाम उदाजः. So samudo rajah pashushu अक्षेषु ग्लहः. The Agribam Sutram asti Aksheshu Glahaha. Two more sutras and then there is some interesting prakriya. But two more sutras before that. So we have Aksheshu Glahaha and Prajane Sartehe. These two sutras. Aksheshu Glahaha. This is a Nipatanam directly given to us. Aksheshu Glahaha. Glaha iti nipatyate. Kasmat dhatoho graha iti dhatoho nipatyate. So graha will get an apapratyaya and repha will somehow get converted to la and then you will get glaha. Now here we have to understand that graha is anyway getting apapratyaya by graha vrudru nishchigamascha. So the very first sutram in the upper section, graha vrudru nishchigamascha, anyway gives graha plus apa. So this particular sutram is done not for giving apapratyaya on graha, but purely for nipatanam, the lakara desha of repa, which is not being given by any other sutras. So aksheshu glahaha. Glaha iti nipatyate. Aksha vishayaha ched dhatvarthaha bhavati. So aksha, a dice, die is singular, dice is plural. So a die or dice used in the game of a dyuta, that is the context over here. The dice is not called glaha. He's only setting the context. What is the context? You are using a dice and you are playing a dyuta, like how Shakuni and Yudhishthira played. So that is the context over here. Aksha vishayasche dhatvarthaha bhavati. Grahehe up siddha eva latvartham nipatanam. So graha dhatoho up pratyaha tadrishaha eva siddha purvamapi uktam. Now somebody is asking an interesting question. How do I know purely from the sutra that it is a graha dhatu? No, you do not know purely from the sutra that it is a graha dhatu. Vyakhyanam eva sharanam. Vyakhyana says it is graha dhatu. But hold on, I'll answer that question in 1 minute. But for now, from Vyakhyana, we know that it is a Graha Dhatu. So, Grahehe up siddhaha eva latvartham nipatanam akshasya glahaha. So, the actual meaning, what is the actual meaning of the word glaha? So, it is derived from Graha Dhatu. Graha means to take something. So, in the game of Dyuta, whatever is at stake, which basically each party puts something at stake and whosoever wins takes it from the other party, that entity that is at stake, that is gruhyate, so that is called glaha. So glaha is essentially, so Kaumudi makes it clear, yat tatra ityukte, in the game of the dyuta, aksha shabdena devanam lakshyate. Devanam is dyuta, divadhatu lit pratyaya. So aksha shabdena devanam lakshate. Aksheshu is only setting up the context. Aksha vishaye, where are these dice used? They are used in the game of Dyuta. So aksha shabdena devanam lakshate. Dyuta is under discussion. Tatra means in that Dyuta, yat panarupena grahyam. 2 minutes ago we saw this dhatu. Panarupena grahyam. Pana vyavahare. Tatra, as a stake, whatever you put it in that game, tat yad grahyam tad glaha iti nipatyate. So whatever you take it from the other person because you have won, that is called glaha. Akshasya glahaha. Aksheshu iti kim? Padasya grahaha. If it is not related to the dyuta, you do not use this sutram. Graha would get a normal upper and we get padasya grahaha. Akshasya glahaha. The prayoga is akshasya glahaha. The meaning over here is to take something, it may or may not be related to the specific dyut, specific dice. So if you start playing a dyuta without a dice, that is also acceptable. So aksheshu does not have to be taken in the literal sense of dyuta, and that is actually very beautifully explained in this particular example. That's why, I say Kaumudi Vyakhyanas are superb. Once you learn Kashika and you learn Kaumudi, you see how these are elevated commentaries. So Kaumudi actually takes a real example from Shishupala Vada 8th Sarga. This line uses the word glaha, where people are putting themselves at the stake in a krida. So not necessarily a krida that uses a dice, but some kind of jala krida, some kind of krida of throwing things at each other, where the loser puts himself or herself at the stake. So Vyapyukshim, a very beautiful prayoga. This Vyapyukshi prayoga, it has nothing to do with this sutram, but this Vyapyukshi prayoga is derived from this sutram, Karma Vyatiharena cha Striyam. The one of the two sutras that we have skipped, we will come to it in the next week. So here there is a nacha pratyaya. You look at these examples: vyavakroshi, vyavalekhi, vyavahasi. Similarly, there is vyapyukshi, vyatyukshim abhisarana glaham adivyan. Iti tatra. Will not go in the details of that particular shloka, but here he is saying that adivyan, they were putting themselves at stake. Here there are no dice, but here there is some kind of stakes being involved. Therefore, this sutram is used. So, aksheshu glahaha. Aksheshu iti kim? Grahaha padasya. And now, having said that, somebody is also pointing that there is another actually dhatu called glaha dhatu in the dhatu patha. So let's see if it's there. I don't even remember. Yeah, so there is a glaha dhatu, which is another dhatu in the dhatu patha. So this is a matantaram. So the Vyakhyana say anye glahim prakrutyanantaram ahuhu. So other people say that glaha is the dhatu for which this particular uh, form is generated, and they ghayam pratyudharanti. So here the pratyudaharanam is graha, there the pratyudaharanam would be glaha. So if you assume or if you take glaha iti dhatu, then glaha plus ghaya will give glaha. That is the pratyudaharanam. So understand this. Glaha is the form that is used to indicate the entity at stake. How is this form derived? There is a difference of opinion. Some people say it is derived from graha dhatu by doing a nipatanam. Why is their particular side justifiable? Again, the same reason as the previous sutram. Glaha dhatoho asti chet tadrisham prayah bhinnam sutram nirmatum shakyate. Kidrisham sutram shakyate va iti chintanam mastu. But maybe there is another way of explaining it. Nipatanam has been explicitly given. Glahaha iti explicit shabdaha tatra nirdishtaha asti. Ataha atra grahehe dhatoho nipatanam idam kritam iti tatra chintanam. This is one side of argument. The second side says anye glahim prakriti anandaram ahu. So there other side of people say that this glaha is not a nipatanam at all. This is glaha dhatoho. Panchami ekvachanam asti glahehe. So if you take ikštipau dhatu nirdeshe, it will be glahehe. But if you just take glaha, iti normal direct dhatu, it will be glahaha. So this is dhatu itself, and this sutram is saying glaha plus apa will give glaha. So this is not a nipatanam at all. So other people say this is explicit mention of glaha dhatu. For them, the pratyudaharanam will be glaha plus ghaya giving glaha. So either paksha is okay, and that comes to somebody's question that they asked earlier. How do we know it is a graha dhatu? We don't know. And if you look at the dhatu patha, that there is already a graha dhatu in the dhatu patha, probably a better guess or more appropriate guess would be that the glaha dhatu itself is being discussed over here. परन्तु अन्ते व्याख्यानमेव शरणं, व्याख्याने ग्रह धातुः उक्तः अस्ति, अतः अस्माभिः अपि ग्रह इत्येव प्रारम्भे पठ्यते, तदनन्तरम् अन्येषां मतम् अपि तत्र दृश्यते। अक्षेषु ग्रहः प्रजने सर्तेः, one dhatu and then a little bit of prakriya, sorry, one sutram and then little bit of prakriya is there. We are not yet done, we have 4 more sutras after this, that's it. So prajane sartehe, sru iti dhatu asti, the sutram is very simple actually. Sru gatau iti dhatu asti, prajana ityasya sandarbhe atra prayogah bhavati. So prajana means what? Prathamam garbhagrahanam. We have seen this dhatu many classes ago. Upasarya kalya prajane iti sutram asmabhi drishtam. Tatra prajana iti shabdha asmabhi drishtaha. So a cow, a female gauhu. So gauhu is used in both the lingas. So female gauhu or cow. So a cow which will get impregnated for the first time, will bear the babies for the first time, that action, prathamam garbhagrahanam, that meeting is called prajanam. So all the way back we saw upasarya kalya prajane. So upasarya is the name of, or a word used to indicate that particular cow. Here we are saying prajanam ityasya या कृतिः इत्यस्य यः धात्वर्थः तस्य विषये सृ धातोः अप प्रत्ययः भवति. So सृ gets an up pratyaya when that actually sru is go, to go. So it is an action of approaching a bull, a male gauhu. I'm purposely using the same word gauhu because that's how it is used in the commentary. Stri gavishu पुंगवानाम गर्भ आधानाय प्रथमम उपसरणम, an approach of a bull towards a cow for impregnating the cow for the first time. So newly adult cow which is being impregnated for the first time, that particular approach is being called upasara. Gavam upasaraha, pashunam upasaraha iti atra, that particular approach iti artha. Here Tattvabodhini also makes one interesting point clear. Tattvabodhini is a commentary on Kaumudi, by the way. So let me first actually read Kaumudi. Prathama prajanam ityukte prathama garbhagrahanam gavam upasaraha. So he just makes one line over here, gavam upasaraha. And then Tattvabodhini makes it clear that this first time impregnation, first time meeting is only according to Kashika. Some other experts don't believe in this first time thing. So prathama garbhagrahanam iti Kashika anurodhena idamuktam. प्रथमं भवेत् द्वितीयं भवेत् इति आग्रहः नास्ति. So according to some experts that it doesn't really matter what is it, first or second, it should be for garbhagrahanam. Prathamam dvitiyam va iti na agrahah kintu garbhagrahanam iti visheshah. So prajana word only indicates garbhagrahanam and not necessarily prathama garbhagrahanam is what Tattvabodhini says. प्रथम गर्भग्रहणम इति काशिका अनुरोधेन उक्तम. Now Kaumudi also mentions another important point. This particular approach of a bull going towards cow, as we said, gavam upasaraha. So there are other words for it. There is a avasara and there is a prasara. Both of these words are also used in this context. So he says katham avasaraha, katham prasaraha. So prasara, what is this? Prasara avasara iti katham bhavati. Let me. So so avasara prasara iti katham bhavati. So he says adhikarane pumsi samnyayam iti tatra gha pratyah vidhiyate. So upasarati asmin prasarati asmin iti adhikarane tatra gha pratyये krute upasara avasara iti shabdaha siddhyanti. So upasarati asmin iti upasaraha, prasarati asmin iti prasaraha. So he is saying avasara and prasara are not used to indicate the actions. They are used to indicate probably the place or time or whatever. So upasarati asmin कार्ये, फॉर एग्जांपल उपसरः, प्रसरति अस्मिन् कार्ये सा प्रसरः. सो वेरियस पॉसिबल वेज आर हियर. प्रजनं, प्रथमग्रहणं, मैथुनम् इति अपि अत्र अर्थः भवितुम् अर्हति. प्रजन इत्यत्र जनिवध्योश्च इति अत्र उपधावृद्धि निषेधः अपि भवति. Why I have written this, I don't know. I should not have written this. There's nothing related to praj. This was related to sru dhatu. I'll get rid of this. Let me quickly take a look at the commentary. I think I have picked it up from somewhere for some reason, which I don't seem to recollect. Oh, prajanaha ityatra janivadhyoho. So he first explains the derivation of prajanaha and then he explains srudhatu. Right. So this is what I wanted to explain. In this particular sutram, prajana itself is a ghai pratyanta word. So prajana itself is a ghai pratyanta word. Atra bhave ghai pratyaya asti, outsargika ghai pratyaya. And here we don't say prajanaha, we say prajanaha, because जनि वृद्ध्योश्च इति तत्र वृद्धि निषेधः भवति. सो अत उपधायाः इत्यनेन उपधा वृद्धि तत्र प्राप्नोति. बट वी हैव सीन दिस जनि वृद्ध्योश्च इत्यनेन तत्र उपधा निषेधः वृद्धि निषेधः भवति. सो दैट इज स्पेसिफिकली फॉर द प्रजन वर्ड. आई फिक्स दिस पार्ट. सो प्रजन इत्यत्रापि घञ् प्रत्ययः तत्र वृद्धिः जनि वृद्ध्योश्च इति निपात्यते. एंड द सेकंड बुलेट इज रिलेटेड टू उपसर एंड प्रसर. यत्र अधिकरणे पुंसि संज्ञायां घः प्रायेण. सो दैट इज शीट नंबर 10. देयर इज पुंसि संज्ञायां घः प्रायेण इत्यत्र घ इति तत्र प्रत्ययः भवति. I think there is nothing else in this context over here. Okay, agre gacchamaha. We have some 10-15 minutes. We'll take 4 sutras quickly and we'll stop because all these 4 sutras are related to each other. So what is happening is in next 4 sutras, 1 second. So here, so we completed prajane sartehe, and now in the next 4 sutras we have, look at this, vas samprasanam cha nyabhyupavishau angi yuddhe nipanamahavah bhaven upasargasya. Eteshu chaturshu api sutreshu. So va, angi, nipanam and bhave, these 4 sutras, there is a same dhatu called ve iti dhatu asti. 1, 2, 3. I have not written it because it is a nipatanam and ve iti dhatu asti. So veya spardhayam shabde cha iti dhatu. All these 4 sutras are completely related. So let me just quickly explain these and then we will stop. In tomorrow's class, I will revise the actual sutras. Today, let me only explain the meanings and then we will stop. So veya spardhayam shabde cha iti dhatu, to compete, to make noise iti arthaha. So all these 4 sutras talk about different aspects of the same dhatu and there is a little bit of prakriya aspect involved over here. So here is the summary of these 4 sutras. The individual sutras we will study in tomorrow's class. First thing that we say is upasargasya anupasthitau. So if there is no upasarga, then bhave eva apapratyayah bhavati. So that is the summary of the 4th sutram. Bhave anupasargasya. So if there is no upasarga, then it was an outsargika ghai pratyaya. But in bhava we get an apa. For akartari karake samnyayam, there is still ghaya. So upasargasya anupasthitau bhave apa pratyaya bhavati. So ve plus apa. What happens we'll see later on. But it's ve plus apa for bhave. Then he says, for some upasargas, bhave as well as akartari chakarake, there is apa pratyaya. So ni upasargah asti, abhi upasargah asti, upa upasargah asti, vi upasargah asti, इत्येतेषाम् उपस्थितौ भावे तथा अकर्तरि कारके अप इति प्रत्ययः भवति. So that's this particular sutram. वस् संप्रसारणं च न्यभ्युपविशौ. नि, अभि, उप, वि इत्येतेषां विषये उभयत्र भावे तथा अकर्तरि कारके अपप्रत्ययः भवति. सो उपसर्गः नास्ति चेत् भावे अपप्रत्ययः. केचन उपसर्गाः तत्र विद्यन्ते चेत् अकर्तरि कारके तथा भावे उभयत्र अपप्रत्ययः. आंग इति विशिष्टः उपसर्गः अस्ति चेत् विशिष्टे अर्थे अपप्रत्ययः. So for that, there are these two middle sutras, Angi Yuddhe and Nipana Mahavaha. So for Ang Upasarga, in a certain specific meaning, you get an Apapratyaya. In all other cases, there is Ghaya Pratyaya. So these are different choices that are given in the four sutras. We are already probably over our capacity, already 1.5 hours is approaching. So I'll not go to the details of the sutras, but there is an important prakriya aspect that will be a refresher that I'll quickly run, and within 5 minutes we will stop. So in all these cases, whenever there is apa pratyaya being added, the important point is asya dhatoho samprasaranam bhavati. That is the important point. कुत्र कुत्र अपप्रत्ययः भवति अस्मिन् विषये चत्वारि सूत्राणि सन्ति. In some cases it is bhave apa, in some cases it is bhave and akartarikarake, in some cases it is specific meanings, and so on. We will see that tomorrow, but important point is tatra samprasaranam prakriyayam bhavati. So ve iti dhatuः तत्र प्रारंभे आदेश उपदेशे शिति इति आकारादेशः भा इति भवति. तदनन्तरं प्रत्यय विधानम. So this is in the ardha dhatu ashit pratyasya vivakshayam. So तदनन्तरं अपप्रत्यय विधानम. अनेन सूत्रेण अपप्रत्यय विधीयते चेत तत्र संप्रसारणम अपि भवति. So you can see right in the first sutram there is samprasaranam. This word comes as an anuvritti in all the four sutras. So samprasaranam iti tatra prakriya visheshah. So ve dhatoho vakarasya samprasarane ukarah samprasaranaच्च इति एकादेशः. तदनन्तरं ह प्लस उ प्लस अ सार्वधातुकार्धधातुकयो इति ओकारः. एचो यवायावः इति ओ इत्यस्य अव हव इति अन्तिमं रूपं सिद्ध्यति. सो अत्र प्रक्रिया विशेषः कः? भे इत्यस्य हव इति अन्तिमं रूपं सिद्ध्यति. भे प्लस अप संप्रसारणं वकारस्य उकारः, उकारस्य ओकारः गुणः, ओकारस्य अवादेशः एचो यवायावः, अन्ते हव इति सिद्ध्यति. If there is no apa pratyaya, the outsargika will be ghaya pratyaya. Tatra samprasaranam na bhavati, parantu tatra akaramta dhatoho ato yuk chin krutoho. So akaramta dhatoho yugagamaha bhavati. So va iti asti, tatra yit pratyay pare yugagamaha bhavati, vaya iti rupam siddhiti. So rupa siddhi is very important over here. Ve dhatoho apa pratyay asti che samprasarane krute hava, अपप्रत्यय नास्ति चेत युगागमे कृते भाय इति रूपम सिद्ध्यति. So we will stop here at the Rupa Siddhi, and in tomorrow's class we will continue with this discussion of the four sutras. Vas samprasaranachanyabhyupavishau, Angi Yuddhe, Nipanamahavah, and Bhavenupasargasya. Idanim prakriya visheshah nasti. In tomorrow's class we will again revise the prakriya once, but atra prakriya visheshah adya kimapi na kopi nasti. अत्र केवलं सूत्राणाम् अर्थज्ञानमेव अस्माभिः कर्तव्यम्. So let's stop here at this stage. One quick interesting update is that we got one more volunteer. So I have written the name of Girijaji over here. So what Girijaji, Girija Murali, who is a regular attendee of our class, what she has done is she has added the YouTube links for the first sheet Krutyaha. Extremely useful addition. So you can click on the link, directly go to the description of say Achoyata, listen to that fragment of say 5 minutes, and you will be very easily able to recollect or recap this particular sutram. So this is what I was asking, that if we have some more volunteers, please write to me after the class so that I can assign. Say if you take one sheets or two sheets, all that we need is 6 volunteers probably. Each of them does 2 sheets and we have a full 12 sheets done for us. And you still don't have to do remaining 4. So it's only first 8 sheets till now. We have not yet done remaining 4. So it's essentially just, if you have like 4 or 5 volunteers, 2 sheets, and we should be done. So this is the way we want to do this. We want to write the links. So I'll explain how all this is to be done. But thank you very much. Sincere, sincere appreciations to Girijaji for helping this out. This actually makes our sheet much more useful and complete. So exercise for today. Adhodattanam Sutranam Kaumudi Vyakhanam. There was actually nothing today, so I just decided to ask the meaning of Kaumudi. So Kaumudi Vyakhanam Swabhashaya Spashtikruta, 5 sutras, and Bheya Dhatoho I'll change this question. Kasmin kasmin sandarbhe apapratyah bhavati tat sodaharanam spashटीकुरुत. So that we will discuss in tomorrow's class. So I will change this question. Bheya dhatoho apapratyay pare घय प्रत्यय परे च कीदृशी प्रक्रिया भवति tat vivrunuta. So just show the prakriya of Venya plus Ghaya and Venya plus Apa. I'll change this question before we upload this to the portal. So Ityalam Samapayamaha. We'll have the session as usual tomorrow. My goal for tomorrow is to finish up with the up problem with the up related sutras. Somebody is saying there was an audio problem on my side today, break in voice. So I don't know if people were again experiencing this today. I don't know if it was a problem on one person's side. So many people are saying there was no audio issue today. So maybe it was problem on your particular side. So anyway, but this webinar has become more and more unreliable these days. Thankfully, it's not breaking us with a breaking for us for last few classes at least. So anyway, what I was saying is in tomorrow's class, I plan to finish the discussion of upper. So the funny thing is we had this four dhatus, ve, and ve, which we discussed the prakriya, we'll discuss the sutras. And after that, look at this. There is hana, 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 hana. So there are like 10, 11 sutras and they all are about hana dhatu. So the theme of tomorrow's class will itself be Hana Dhatoho Apapratyaya. So a single dhatu and a single pratyaya, but it generates a huge tree of words. All these sutras starting with Hanashchavadhaha, Murtau Ghanaha, and so on up to Nigho Nimitam. All these sutras are for Hana Dhatu. I will be explaining all this tomorrow, and that's where the Apapratyaya ends. So my goal for tomorrow is to finish up the discussion of Apapratyaya. That way, we will complete the three important pratyas, Ghaya, Apa, and Acha in this particular sheet. And then there are those miscellaneous pratyas that are remaining, Tri, Athuch, Nang. We also have those Ranacha and Innuna, which we had skipped in between. So it will take a while before the sheet ends, but at least tomorrow's class, we should be able to finish the three biggest candidates, Ghaya, Acha, and Apa. सो समापयामः श्वस्तन वर्गे पुनरेकवारं नियमितरूपेण कक्षा भविष्यति। अष्टाध्यायी जगन्माता यस्य चित्तात् समुत्थिता वेदानामुपकाराय तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। शब्दब्रह्म समाराध्य कृतवान् यो विलक्षणं सर्वाश्चर्यमिदं शास्त्रं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। येन धौता गिरः पुंसां विमलैः शब्दवारिभिः तमश्चाज्ञानजं भिन्नं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। धन्यवादः।